Blood on the Wind is the sequel to Teeth in the Mist, and it picks up right from where Teeth in the Mist left off. You've got Roan in the ruins of the burnt out mill house, having made her deal with the devil, and that's exactly where it starts. So Blood on the Wind starts right there. And it just continues the journey. Again, it deals with the consequences of making a deal with something unknowable. Kind of like how you would very carefully maybe not, or maybe make a deal with the Fae. They're tricksters. There's always a price to pay. It can't just be an easy solution. There was a transformation involved in Roan's deal. So in the first book, she's a witch. In the second book, she's a vampire witch. This is the consequence of her deal, as she is now the same creature that she is hunting. So Phostos, her great enemy, she is now the same creature as him. And more powerful, of course, because she's from a magical bloodline, but she is now what she hates. So dealing with the consequences of that, dealing with the thirst, dealing with becoming a killer, and her thirst for revenge, because of course at the end of Teeth, her beloved is taken from her. And she's so vengeful. This is really a book of anger, and I think the cover conveys that beautifully. But there's also an element of haunting, because there usually is in my books, where Roan and Len in the modern timeline, Roan is also dealing with the consequences of a magical action that's left her magically paralyzed, and the bitterness that comes with that, which again is from personal experience. The emotions involved with coming to grips with a disability, the very natural process of the emotions involved with coming to grips with a disability is really what's explored in this book. So The Madness is my adult debut, and which is so amazing. I've been trying to write adult for many a year, but I think that I'm 37, but I think for a long time I had the mind of a teenager. I just took too long to mature. So I don't think I was capable of writing adult for a very long time. But yeah, so The Madness is my adult debut, and it follows Dr. Mina Murray, who is a psychiatrist in London. She is very neurotic, tightly controlled, suffers with crippling OCD, and she has rituals in her life that help her maintain her mental health. She gets an email one day from her childhood best friend back in a hometown she never wants to return to. But this childhood best friend, who things ended badly between them, but this woman is in danger and is asking Mina for her professional help as a doctor, and she feels she can't refuse. It's, you know, her duty to go and help. So she returns very reluctantly to her North Wales hometown, her very witchy mother's house, to visit her friend. And when she gets there, she's very surprised to see that her best friend, her childhood best friend Lucy, is suffering with the same symptoms as her patient back in London. And it becomes this question of, why are these two women hundreds of miles apart suffering with the same disorder, and why is no one listening, and why is no one making the connections? And it really is an exploration of women not being listened to, which again, in the setting of me going into liver failure, I have intimate experience with. I went to the doctor when I was first in liver failure. I'd lost a huge amount of weight. I was visibly jaundiced, and there were various other symptoms. And the doctor said, well, you still have to lose 20 kilograms to be a healthy weight, so just go home. He essentially sent me home to die. And I was so panicked because I knew the symptoms of liver failure, and I had been warned that I knew I had a liver issue. Luckily, a previous doctor had given me his mobile number, and I texted him. I was like, I have all these symptoms, and he was like, get to London now. And I was listed for transplant the next week because I was in liver failure. And this doctor just literally just was like, just go home. So yeah, The Madness kind of explores that side of dangerous, horrible things happening to women and them just not being heard. Writing is amazing therapy. I'm a diarist, so I keep journals. Just the act of writing. I think it's something about the movement of the hand and the eyes going back and forth. There is something very calming on the nervous system. So yeah, maybe it's that. Although I have it with typing too. So yeah, very therapeutic. I highly recommend it. I'm telling everyone I know all the time, you should write a novel about that. Because it's so healing.